Good morning to all. Dear student, in last lecture, we also discussed about some of points also related to the Russian Empire. We also discussed about social and economic condition of Russia. So dear student, today we continue our chapter, chapter second, and today we discuss about 1905 revolution. First time, revolution started in 1905. Student, we also aware about in Russia, three main revolution: 1905 revolution, 1917 Feb revolution, 1917 October revolution. So first today we discuss about 1905 revolution. In 1905, Russian condition not good. At this time, turbulent time. Time means change in everywhere. Nothing good in Russia. And Russia was an autocracy, means dominated by king, dominated by monarchy. Unlike other European rulers, even at beginning of 20th century, the Tsar was not subject to parliament. Dear student, we also discuss about in chapter first. In Europe, starting phase, France, make a democratic country. After France, many another countries also followed a system of democracy. But in the beginning of 20th century, means in 1910, 1914, 1915, starting phase of 20th century, Tsar was not subject to parliament. Means in Russia, there are no system of democracy. Jar means king, monarchy, not ruled according to parliament, government, according to parliament. Means at this time, king also use his power according to his will. So nothing good at this time in Russia. Liberals in Russia campaigned to be end this state of affair together with social democrats and socialist revolutionary. In last phase, we also discuss about three different ideology. One is the liberals. At this time, liberals also start to campaigning an end of this monarchy system and start a new democratic government in Russia. So liberals also take the help together with make a combined efforts with social democrats and socialist revolutionary. They also take the help of another political group, and at this time they also take the help of worker along with peasants in 1905. So dear student, at this time, first time, these efforts also started by liberals with the help of other social democrat, socialist revolutionary, worker and peasant. And both are, they also demanding for a constitution. They also want to, Russia became a democratic country and king also do rule according to constitutions. So at this time they face different kind of problems and they also demanding for equal rights in Russia. The membership of worker association rose dramatically when four members of the Assembly of Russia worker were dismissed at the Putilov Iron Worker in 1904. Then there was a call for industrial action. Dear student, at this time, many workers also start their association, make their group. Day by day, this kind of associations also increase almost in every part of Russia. At this time, one of incident also happened. During that time, one of association also formed. Name of this association is the Assembly of Russia Worker. And near about four workers also dismissed from their service in one of most famous industry, Putilov Iron Worker Factories in 1904. So at this time, workers also start strike against industrialists, against owners. Around 110,000 workers went on strike demanding reduction in working hour to 8 hours per day, improving the working condition and increase in wages. Of course, only 4 members also dismissed from their services. So this is the beginning of this protest. Near about 1,10,000 workers also come in this favor of for worker, and they also gone on strike, and they also demanding for reduced working hour. Of course, government also fix 8 hours per day, but factory owner also exploit. In last page we already discussed about. So they also demanding 8 hours in a day, and they also want to improve working condition, means health and education facilities also provided to workers in their industry, and they also want to increase wages, salaries. So these are the demanding of worker. Now workers start to be strike against industrialists. When the procession of worker led by Father Gopen reached Winter Palace, it was attacked by the police. When this protest increased day by day, at this time, one of the most famous person in Russia, Father Gopen. At this time, Father Gopen also led this movement, this procession in Russia, and they also reach in most famous place in Russia is the Winter Palace. When these protesters reach in Winter Palace, police officer also attack on workers, and is the Father Gopen. And this incident also happened on Sunday. So we also know about is the Bloody Sunday. And this is the Cossacks, means army officer. They also attack on protester workers, and they also killed many workers. Near about 100 of workers were killed and around 300 wounded. In this fight, near about 100 of workers also killed and 300 is be injured. This incident came to be known as the Bloody Sunday. And this incident we also know about is the Bloody Sunday. And the event followed come to be known as 1905 Revolution. This incident we also know about the beginning of 1905 Russian Revolution. So 1905 Revolution start with the one most important event is the Bloody Sunday. This is the main cause of 1905 Revolution. Everywhere strike were being organized. Students walked out of university. Lawyers, doctor, engineer, and other middle class workers started to forming unions and demanding a constituent assembly. Now, almost in every field, in the field of student, they also walk out from university. Lawyer also leave their work. Doctor also involved in this strike. Many engineer also. Many middle class people like workers, many another farmers also take part in this protest. So they also form these different unions, and main demand in this 1905 revolution form a constitute assembly. Means king also do work according to constitution. During the 1905 revolution, the Tsar allowed to creation of Duma. At this time, when this protest also increased day by day, finally, king also accept form a Duma. Duma means parliament, an elected constitute parliament. Finally, king also accepted form a parliament. Means now king also do work according to parliament, according to constitution. A large number of trade union and factory workers committees existed during this period. At this time, in 1905 to 1904 to 5, many trade unions also formed, many another committees also formed at this time. Many unions also formed in 1905. But after 1905, all such unions were declared illegal and some restrictions were imposed on them. Thus, they had to work unofficially. After 1905, when king accepted Duma, so king also start a different kind of work. King also want to control these unions, and king also declared this union is be totally illegal. Many restrictions also imposed on these unions. But these unions also do their work in the secret form, and they also they also do work unofficially also, not according to recognized by monarchy. Even the first Duma was also dismissed within 75 days. Of course, in 1905, King also accepted form a new parliament, new Duma, and first time this Duma do work only 75 days. First Duma also dismissed within 75 days, and now King also formed second Duma, and the second Duma was re-elected within 3 months. Within 3 months, King also again formed new parliament, as the Tsar did not want any question on his authority and reduction in his power, because King not want to be any person also questioning on the power of monarchy, and King not willing to reduce his power. So he also dismissed second Duma, and finally King also formed third Duma also. Before King also formed third Duma, he changed the voting law and pacted the third Duma with conservative, and the liberals and revolutionary were kept out. Before, King also formed third Duma. First, King also make a new voting law, and in this law, King also only give to right to vote to be conservative. And we also studies about ideology of conservative. Conservative also believe in monarchy system. They also want to change, but in slow process. They also totally in favor of monarchy. So in third Duma, most of seat also goes in favor of conservative. No place for liberals and revolutionary. So at this time, after the end of 1905 revolution in Russia formed a new constitutions, and king not work according to these constitutions. And what happened after 1905? First World War and Russian Empire. Dear student, we also aware about First World War, and First World War started in 1914, and at this time we also read about whole world also divided two different parts. The First World War and the Russian Empire in 1914 war broke out between the European alliance. In the world, almost every country also participates to any one side. Germany, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire is the central power. One side is the led by Germany, and they make a central alliance. Second side, Great Britain, France, Russia, Italy, Romania, Japan, and United States make a allied power. So whole world also divided to different groups. First is the central power. The central power dominated by Germany and Austria. Second, allied power dominated by Britain and France. And Russia also participated in First World War in 1914. But at this time, Russian condition not good. The Tsar refused to consult the main parties in Duma. Thus, and the anti-Tsarist sentiment ran among the peoples, and due to its German origin, and anti-German sentiment could also be seen in the peoples. Of course, in the beginning, in 1914, most of Russian peoples also helped to king to take part in First World War. When war also is be continued, at this time, king also refused to consult main party in parliament. Dear student, presently we also aware about conflict between India and China. Presently, Indian government also consult with opposition political party about the current situation. So in 1914, of course, first time people also in favor of king. But when king also refused to consult with main party in Duma, so people's also against monarchy, against king. And one of the main reason is the German origin sentiment, because at this time most of king advisors belong to the Germany by origin. And second is the main thing is the Saint Petersburg is a German name. So people also hate German sentiments. So they also renamed Saint Petersburg to Petrograd. They also renamed. This is the Central Power and Allied power in First World War. Russian army were defeated badly in Germany and Austria between 1914 to 1916. In this World War, Russian army faced lot of problems. Near about 70 lakh casualties. 70 lakh casualties faced by Russian. In 1916, Russia also walked out from First World War. When Russian army returned their country, the Russian army destroyed the crops and the buildings so that the enemies could live off the land. When German army returned their country, at this time they also destroyed crops and they also destroyed buildings. They are not willing to this crops and buildings goes in the hand of enemies. And enemies also use these crops and buildings for their settlement and for their foods. So they also destroyed their own crops. This led to around 3 million refugees in Russia, and soldiers did not wish to fight such war. According to Russian army action, when Russian army destroyed crops and destroyed buildings, near about 3 million refugees, and they also settled different part of Russia. And at this time, Russian soldiers not willing to take part in war. Russian industry were badly affected due to the war. Dear student, we also aware about during the time of war, industries not in progressive forms. So same happened also with Russia. Different cause also responsible. Even the Russian railway started to break down in 1916. Russian railway also breakdowns in 1916. So internal trade also totally affected and external trade also affected because at this time Baltic Sea also controlled by Germany. So external trade also affected due to war. And many another regions also, able bodies, men were called to fight the war that created labor shortage also. Student, we also aware about able bodies, healthy person, of course, suitable for armies. So army also recruit healthy person for fight. And at this time, shortage of labor in industry because healthy person also suitable for war and healthy person also suitable for industries. So shortage of labors in Russia during that time, small workshops were set down. Home units were totally set down because shortage of raw materials. Large supply of grain were sent to feed the army. Maximum grain also sent to be feed army needs. So shortage of food grain also. Thus the price of food began to rise in the market. So increase the price of food grain in Russian market. And by the winter of 1916, riots could be seen commonly on the breads. So almost in maximum part of Russia, shortage of food grains. So people start revolt against king in every place in the winter of 1916. So this is the condition of Russia after First World War in 1915 to 1916. They face lot of problem, shortage of food grain, shortage of industries. So maximum people against monarchy and they decided to start revolution against monarchy and revolution we also studies in next part.